Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Backpack Trader Training Room for Tuesday, January 13th, 2026. Please note the required risk disclosure. This room is for educational and information purposes only. It is not financial advice. Trading of this type carries substantial risks and should only be attempted with funds you can afford to do without. All right. This is our only session today, so we'll do away with the risk disclosure. Crude is in this add-on short. That one, the long went too far too early, or rather the earlier short, long didn't trigger. This long was filtered by the squeeze zone. Unleaded is on the March contract. Volume is higher on March. 10.4 to 6,700. All right, market is open. Soybeans. Seven seconds and not in that. That will cancel the long trade though. We have a short setup there. YM got a quick short trade that I don't think would have been possible to get in. Crude taking heat on the short. Micro Russell with some quick trades here. That's a no trade. Yeah, that's a no trade. Short is avoidable, I would expect. The long, yeah, that one was in. Picks up a money management. Roughly there. The short calculator didn't track that. I'd have to go back and look at it. Pound Aussie got a one and done. Targets 1 and 2, and a small trailer for 3 and 4. Unleaded is short. Looks like we may have, yeah, that looks like it very well may be a successful. Let's see, how fast was this one? 21, 26, 28. Yeah, you're probably in that. So that one would be POQ on the first trade. Short is successful on the YM. Long trade on the Micro Russell. This one looks like it had time. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, okay, it's definitely in. It just gave us another chance at the entry. Big wick on this one. Target 2 will be our actionable, first actionable. That will start trailing at 0.7 of target 1. I'll put unleaded up on top of the YM. Actually, I'll put it on, Pound Aussie's done, so I'll put it over here. YM can give us some clues. Pound Aussie won't tell us anything to speak of. And we get a small loss with the reduced risk from a trailer on the Micro Russell, and we enter a new short. Definitely in that second chance to get in on the entry. This one doesn't have a wick and then stops out. So that is a break even and a loss on the Micro Russell. Micro NQ. First trade triggers into a long. There was plenty of time to get in that. Michael Russell, long trade also. Unleaded stops out, as does crude. And the long trade cancels as it hits its stop. I'm sorry, the short trade on soybeans touches an entry for the long. I don't know how quick that was. I'm going to assume this is a get in sync on the long at this point. Since it touched the entry, I would push it one, make it 70, make it 3/4. Target one on micro NQ, short on the micro Russell. Do that. Oh yeah, I was going to move it up to 75. Break even stop out on micro NQ. Micro Russell picks up target 3. So next actionable is target 4. And we are trailing. So this is a win, and it's out on the trailer for a target 3 win. Break even, loss, and win. Micro NQ is flat. Crude is flat, and unleaded is flat. Soybeans trying to get in sync on this. Micro Russell stopped out, is now going down again. YM also setting a new session low. Market not liking the CPI numbers this morning, apparently. This came out at 8:30. Micro NQ picks up a short trade that stops out for a full loss. So break even and a loss there. Everything's flat right now. Get in sync on soybeans. Long trade set up, and it triggers in on the micro NQ. That's got a little bit of a wick on it. Let's see what our Not quite big enough. Soybeans trade cancels as it hits the stop. So micro NQ, the only active trade right now. Money management on the micro NQ. Target 2 here will definitely get us positive. Still the only active trade. YM showing a long trade, but we're done on the YM. That was POQ on the one and done. Power of quitting on the first trade. Micro Russell about to get a long trade. Hell no, it's not about to get a long trade because it's got to get above that cyan line to be a valid trade. YM trade stops out. Still nothing on crude or unleaded. And there is target 2 on the micro NQ. So that is a second win. No, first win. That's 48.5 tick win. You got to get halfway to target 3 to engage the trailer. It's going to take just a little bit above the session high. Interesting divergence. Micro NQ just off the session high, and now we transition to a short. Or actually, we can transition to a get in sync short. That was too fast to get in off the initial setup. See if it's going to come down again. There it is in the trade, short on the micro NQ. Oh, and a quick target 2. That was a quick rundown and came down and stopped out on the trailer. So 2 wins. That will definitely get us positive. No question about that one. Yeah, just shy of target 2. So we get targets 2 and 3 and stop out on the trailer at just shy of target 2. Now crude picks up a short trade and now stops and reverses into a long. Technically, that's the second loss in a row, and second loss, and that would be the end of the session. Go ahead and follow this one just to see what it does. Looks like he picks up target one. It's not a big trade. Actually, target two and three. Target two working for target three. Entry at 97, so yeah, 07 was our money management level. Actual targets at 2 and 3 would have been there and there. 15, actually 13 and 18, 31 ticks. So that would have mitigated our losses a bit. Still be a down session. All right, we have a break even on the micro Russell. Or trade number 4, I believe. Trade number 5 is an avoidable long that touches the entry and then goes to the stop. I'm going to assume that was avoidable, but it is, so I'm assuming a no trade there. Another loss on the micro NQ. That's 2 losses. 4 trades in. Probably an avoidable short. Looks like it hit the stop and then came down and stopped the original trade out. So 4 trades in the books at this point. A win, 2 wins, 5 trades. 2 wins, 2 losses, and they break even. Crude is done, YM is done. Soybeans is flat, no trades yet. The long was avoidable, short canceled. Short on the micro Russell. That was too fast. That's a no trade. Just 3 or 4 seconds to target one. I believe we had to go down 1 tick. Money management. So that's a no trade. Still just 4 trades on the micro Russell. 5 trades in on the micro NQ, one remaining. Unleaded still flat. Crude is done now. It's had 3 trades. Session should have ended on the 2nd. Ooh, the stop and reverse on that would have been actually 01, 61.01. So would target 2 have been enough? Yeah, it would have been 11 ticks at 12. So we actually just get 27 ticks on that win. Might go NQ in a short trade, definitely in the trade. That wick on 4th bar. Reaching down toward money management. Target 2 is going to be at the session open. Came off the session highs and down, approaching the session open. Bouncing back up. Testing the 200 EMA. And we reverse at the full, actually we exit at the full stop. 3rd loss on the micro NQ ends the session. It's going to be a slightly down session. Still 2 trades remaining for us on the micro Russell, 6 trade max. Unleaded still with no trades. We could get a short trade here. Get a down close. Long trade on the micro Russell. Probably a little fast to have gotten in that. Didn't stop out. Yes, it did. So that's another no trade. Money management would be irrelevant. Again, that would have needed to move 1 tick move up. Under 5 minutes to our 10 a.m. crude mini session. Actually, crude is in a long with a pending short. As long as you get in sync, the short is a pending. And some short triggered in, so it is now the only active trade. The only valid trade. We still have a little under 2 minutes to go. Oh, okay. Beta's behind by almost about 4 minutes, 5 minutes. That's not good. Unleaded with a short trade also. That was a valid trade. Long didn't trigger. And we go to target 2. Not as big as the, okay, target 1 is 27, target 2 is 42. Trailer is now 85.52. So that one was avoidable. The short, big wick, so that was a small loss. Win on the long, which was the last trade of the session. So the micro Russell is done. Two wins. Two wins, 3 break evens, and a loss. Unleaded trailing. 85.38. Soybean still hasn't picked up a trade. Unfortunately, based on our timing, that crude trade was too early. Still haven't gotten to 10 o'clock on the data yet. The data is lagging a bit this morning. Okay, there's 10 o'clock in the data, so we'll look for a trade for the 10 a.m. crude mini session. Unleaded stopped out. I expect I missed an unleaded short. First short was a 52 tick risk, down 104 on two positions. Second short was a 57, 114, so down 218. We pick up 42 on target. Target one is 30. Yeah, so we pick up 26 on the trailer for a total of 68. Still well down there. Squeeze zone filter on the long on crude. YM down at session lows. Micro Russell and micro Russell and micro NQ. Basically, their session opens. Soybeans with nothing. YM is done on its first trade this morning. Micro Russell is done on 6 trades, as is the micro NQ. Micro Russell should be a positive session. Micro Russell's slightly down. 9 a.m. crude is going to be a losing session this morning. Pound Aussie was one and done this morning. Before I opened up the room, it picked up a long trade, hit two targets 1 and 2. A trailer for targets 3 and 4. 3, 4, and trail. Some modest gain there. Since micro NQ is done, I'm going to put unleaded back where it normally sits. There's the winning trade on Pound Aussie this morning. No trades yet on crude for the 10 a.m. mini session. All right, nothing new. And everybody's still flat. Everything's still flat that's active. Crude 10 a.m. unleaded, needing a lot of help to get back positive. And soybeans has no trades yet. Micro Russell, Pound Aussie, and YM are all done, as is the Micro NQ. So we have 3 active charts. Crude and unleaded, and soybeans all flat, waiting for trades. About 20 more minutes, and then I'm going to have to take off. This is like I was watching paint dry. Micro Russell with a short trade. Not participating there. That trade plan is already complete for today. Filter ahead. Chop zone filter on soybeans, keeping us out of the long. Still no trades. Oh yeah. It's definitely just takes a little bit of time to learn some of the patterns and learn the strategies. You certainly don't have to learn them all at once. I'm running 3 different strategies on here, and I certainly wouldn't try to trade all of these at once. That's way too much to try to focus on. Start by focusing on a single chart, single strategy. And right now, it's watching paint dry. The 3 active charts right now are crude top center, unleaded gasoline, wholesale unleaded gasoline bottom center, and soybeans on the bottom right. All 3 of them are waiting for new trade setups. Trade crude in 2 mini sessions in the morning, 9 a.m. and 10 a.m. I started off, I definitely started off focusing on one chart. When I'm trading now, I still try to focus on no more than 2 charts. And preferably one, because to really give it the focus you need, you really have to focus on, it's best to focus on one chart. Now, that's for day trading. Now, for swing trading, it's a whole nother story. You want to build a stable, as it were, of charts that you're trading, and you're going to check them essentially, once a day, see if there are new trade setups. But each one isn't going to take but just a few minutes a day to deal with along the way. So it's a matter of what you're trying to do. If you're trying to day trade, yeah, focus. You need to focus when you're day trading on what you're trading. While I do sometimes trade while I'm doing the room, I'll admit it makes my trading, it hurts my trading when I'm running the room, because I can't focus on my charts. I'm looking around at all the charts that I've got. Still nothing new on those 3 charts. And I am going to have to take off here at 10:30. I've got an appointment I have to get to. We'll see if anything happens between now and 10:30. The other charts that I'm showing they've already completed their trade plans. I'm working a trade plan on each of the charts. Are you saying what's the best account size? And your account size is actually going to determine what markets you're able to trade. Very often, with a small account, say on 5,000 or there or less, maybe you're definitely going to be wanting to work with some of the micro contracts, micro Russell, micro YM, the micro YM. Micro Russell is the M2K that I'm showing up on the upper left. I'm showing full YM contract in the upper right, but the MYM or micro is another possibility. You've got micro crude, the micro NQ. It's all a matter of, to learn. I would certainly start with a smaller account and end with the micro micro contracts because you're not risking as much. Basically, you want to start, and then, that's why I will point you toward Backpack Trader, because Troy has a very structured way of getting started that has you do some preliminary work before you actually get into the trading part of it. What are your goals? Why are you trading? What are you wanting to get out of it? What's your available risk capital? Because you don't want to trade with funds that you need it for an everyday life. Trading should, at least, especially when you're learning, should be strictly risk capital, something you can afford to do without. So you have to figure out for yourself what that level is for you and work accordingly. Starting out with somewhere in the five, I would say, then you've also got the possibilities of Forex. For day trade, if you're planning to day trade, I would probably stick with the micro contracts on the market indices, crude, possibly gold, some things like that. Unleaded is not too bad, although it's you need a little bit more capital than you would for something like the micro crude. Those are a good place to start. If you're interested in getting started, I would point you to backpacktrader.com, and Troy is doing some golden ticket webinars. In fact, I believe he's doing one this Saturday. Spend a little bit and get involved, listen to that, see what he has to say, see if it resonates with you or if it makes sense to you, and he can definitely point you in the right direction. I started working with Troy strategies somewhere around 10 years ago. Actually, almost, I guess, 11 now. And have been trading for 11 years, not 11 years now, and running a room for somewhere around four or five. So it's, and believe me, I started not knowing anything about futures trading or day trading myself. So that's why I'm pointing you toward Backpack Trader. Troy does a very good job of structuring the trading so that he's teaching you, part of the, and for each person it can be different because of your personal situation. What are your goals? How much do you have to trade with? Now, unfortunately, well, actually, I say that if you can learn to trade, you don't necessarily have to learn with your own money. You can learn in sim accounts, but I would try to get with somebody that you can work with, such as situation that Troy has some mentorship programs that will certainly help you get started. Look toward a prop firm as a possibility. But before you get to that point, you're going to definitely have to learn what's going on. And that Troy did. I was very happy working with Troy. And his systems, learning how to trade. He was the one running this room when I started. But he's been running a trade room for over 15 years. Is trying to concentrate his efforts more on coaching than doing the trade rooms, and he's out on the West Coast, so getting up for 9 o'clock Eastern time trade room is a 6 a.m. room for him. But you're going to need a little bit of some funds that you can devote to the learning and being for training, for data, for you may have some platform licensing fees, but for you'll have some expenses for data. From get into a mentorship program is the best way I can tell you to learn to trade. Or certainly get into a room, find a room like this that you're comfortable in. Keep coming back, okay? And ask questions. If you have something that you don't understand, ask the question when it comes up, and that's at least that's what I'm here for. Is that I'm giving back, trying to give back the same things that I learned through my initial journey in the first 2 or 3 years. That's what most of us that are coming in here are here for. We're here to learn, and I take every opportunity to, when I have a chance to do any of Troy's live trainings, I will definitely do that. I will be there. All right. I hate to cut this off, but right now I'm going to have to close it up for today. I do this room every Monday, or most every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday at 9:30, unless I'm traveling or have some other conflict. And I typically will do the crude oil inventory sessions at 10:30 on most Wednesdays. Next week, we'll not have a crude oil inventory session because Monday is a holiday, and that shifts it to Tuesday at noon rather than Wednesday at 10:30. So that's a little bit on the schedule that we do in here. Oh, absolutely. I'm happy to answer questions. It's a whole lot easier for me to do this room answering questions. There's a short trade on crude while I was talking. That is the first of our 10 a.m. session. First trade for a 10 a.m. session. This up. The entry looks like 6109. Money management's at 6099. So that's going to make our actionable targets, second and third targets here. 6095 and 6089. There's money management. So our stop will come to break even, which is our entry plus 1 tick. Orange, just that orange line, 6108, and that looks like we might stop out. Yep, stopped out at 6108. That's the way things go sometimes. So back to flat on crude, still flat on unleaded and soybeans. So I am going to call the morning, and we'll be back to do this again tomorrow morning at 9:30. Hope to see you again tomorrow. Have a good morning and a good afternoon.